Abortion is a difficult and sensitive topic, and many of us know people who have had direct experience of abortion. It's very important that this matter is discussed in a way that is compassionate and non-judgmental. We never know the path that other people follow. In terms of the law at the moment in Ireland, we have a fairly liberal regime. However, there are proposals to go much further than other European countries to raise the gestational limit to 24 weeks instead of 12 currently, and to effectively decriminalise abortion entirely, so that we would be more or less on a par with the situation in Canada. This, if it were to happen, would have profound implications, I believe, for healthcare and for the way that we view human life at all stages. To speak of human rights without recognising the rights of unborn or born children makes no sense to me. The right to life is the cornerstone of all human rights, regardless of age, sex, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, or ability. And that is why I am firmly opposed to the notion of discriminatory or elective abortions in relation to children with disabilities, such as Down syndrome, for example. And that actually accounts for a significant proportion of abortions undertaken on Irish women in Britain every year. There are a relatively small number, but Down syndrome accounts for a significant proportion of those abortions, the 200 to 300 per annum. Perhaps roughly a quarter relate to conditions such as Down syndrome. You can check out this data on the ONS data website in Britain. I do recognise that the Irish people have voted in 2018 to repeal the Eighth Amendment. I acknowledge and note that, and in my view, there is no prospect of reversing that in the foreseeable future. I have met numerous people on the canvas, many women, who have told me that they are entirely comfortable with the current legal situation. They are pro-choice. I fully respect that. But they've also pointed out their extreme concerns to me about the proposal to move the gestational limit up to 24 weeks, so that in effect abortion would become possible without any restriction in the second trimester, and also in effect in the third trimester as well. This is an appalling vista that is upsetting even to people who are ardently pro-choice and who believe in bodily autonomy and in reproductive rights. We are talking here about children who can be delivered alive and who can certainly feel pain. The evidence scientifically is that children may be able to experience pain from an early stage of pregnancy. It's not certain, but as a precautionary measure, anesthetics are given to babies that are 18 weeks of gestation during intrauterine surgery. If that's the case, then that should also apply in law and in medical guidelines to unborn children who are about to be terminated. Finally, what is my pledge? My pledge is no raising of the gestational limits to 24 weeks. Second of all, legal protection for unborn children to ensure pain relief. And third of all, practical supports for mothers and families so that they don't have this awful choice between keeping a baby and doing away with the baby. This is a difficult subject. It's one on which there are divided opinions. But if elected, one of my red lines for supporting an incoming government is that there will be no further liberalisation in a programme of government. I repeat, I will not vote for any government programme or for any Taoiseach or any party that puts this into a programme of government. If you agree with me, please consider supporting me for number one. If you disagree with me, please consider voting for me, at least in recognition of my consistent support for human rights all the way through life, pertaining to healthcare, education, the rights of migrants, the rights of sexual minorities, the rights of women, the rights of all people. Please consider this as a consistent life ethic, and that the views that I have suggested and proposed here are entirely consistent and coherent. Gora Mahagat.